We're bringing that Wednesday night main event back.
We're bringing that sexy back, baby, like Justin Timberlake said.
Bringing that sexy back.
We're on that Vape 10 life, son. We on that Vape 10 life, son.
We got crack 'em if you got 'em.
We gotta crack 'em if you got 'em.
Crack 'em if you got 'em. Crack 'em if you got 'em. Get it in you, kids. Get 'em in you, kids.
In these skinny cans.
And you're OOO, but you're
baby.
You're looking hot on the show.
You're OOO, but you're first in our hearts. Well, that was like a tough. That was like a tough call. You were letting it ride for a little bit there, and then it was just an immediate drop it like it's hot.
Well,
Are we just bringing back all like the earlier, that 2000 music references? We got Sexy Back, Drop It Like It's Hot.
Yep.
Are we going to Superman that? Oh!
I think, is that too later on in the thousands? The Superman,
I think probably.
It was definitely.
I probably fucked up by going too late into the 2010s.
I would have taken like a Nelly, like, hot and.
Oh, yeah.
It's hot in here. All I think about is you.
All right, welcome to the Cowboys Can Fan podcast, where we're actually trying to launch a 2000s pop chart podcast.
Well,
How you guys doing?
Check out our Spotify playlist.
Welcome to Way Back Wednesday, where we just analyze every R&B hit of the thousands.
We actually just started the podcast to drive people to our Spotify playlist that we've created.
Yeah.
Hey guy, and then
Which it's not working very well. But
and we add in our own like intermissions or intervals where it's like, okay, and this track is where Alex thought he lost his masturbatory virginity.
But it just cuts it low.
Yeah.
Comes in and then it brings it back up.
Do it, DJ List.
Okay.
Well, there would be a lot of sad music for Cowboys playoff losses. I'll tell you that much, boys, because the 2000s have not been a very favorable situation for the Cowboys. Actually, speaking of some Cowboys news, I saw this on a bunch of meme pages. I think it was last week some point. It was 10,000 days since the Cowboys had won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
10,000 days.
I think that we did bring that up like 2 or so weeks ago, so it's even more now.
It's like 10,020 days.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like when they say, in order to be an expert at something, you need to spend 10,000 hours crafting it to be a master at that skill. Does that mean 10,000 days in football allows us to be a master at fucking losing or something?
Oh,
It'd probably even be more. It'd probably be even more.
Well,
hey, I don't like it.
You're not doing it right if that's the case. Hey,
10,000 days.
Hey,
Hey, Nate Dogg, 10,000 days is a long ass time. A lot of shit has happened since the Cowboys has won their last Super Bowl.
Speaking of Cowboys losing Super Bowls, what I can't there's this one fucking guy. I don't follow him on IG, but sometimes his videos surface. But he's clearly a Nate. And this is thinking about Nate Dogg. He's a Nate Dogg 49ers fan, not Nate Dogg fan. He's just a 49ers fan, like Nate Dogg.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
And he posts like.
Can fan, like Canadian fan.
Yeah, no, but he'll post like videos, like you'll see two people dropping onto like a pole, and they're like Cowboys fans, and it shows them like dropping onto a pole, like stupid stuff. And this one, it was like this angry emo.
Funny, though.
Yeah, it was this angry emo rap song, and the guy's like, "It's been 30 years of torment. It's been 30 years of this," and he's like rapping about his own life, but the guy's like, "This is every Cowboys fan." And it's like, I feel like every other fan out there loves to tell us that we've been crying for 30 years for not winning since our last Super Bowl. And yet no Cowboys fans ever complains about that. It's everybody else that has to remind us about that.
Well, the funny thing, I understand that we haven't won a Super Bowl in 10,000 days or 30 years, but neither is San Francisco. That's the odd thing. Yeah, they've made it to the Super Bowl. Yes, they've made NFC Championship games, but they still haven't won a Super Bowl. Their last Super Bowl was even longer than the Cowboys, and the year between the Cowboys three-peat. So I just always find it funny when San Fran fans use the haven't won a Super Bowl. Well, we've been to one. We've been to NFC Championship games, but does that count?
Yeah,
I mean, he still lost.
If it does, then the Buffalo Bills are the best team in the NFL ever because they went to 4 straight Super Bowl appearances.
We ain't playing to be there. We're playing to win it, son.
Yeah, dog.
We play to win the game.
Yeah, no one's going to remember that the Eagles didn't win the Super. I mean, we'll remember that the Eagles didn't win the Super Bowl.
That felt good.
Yeah,
you know what? I kind of liked having the Eagles there. Like, if sure we weren't there, but it was like I had skin in the game. I wanted them to lose so bad.
Yeah.
Like when it's just two random teams and you're just kind of drinking. But I had some skin in that game. I wanted the Eagles to lose so bad.
Okay, if it was if it was Eagles versus 49ers, which
Well, NFC Championship game, right?
I know.
That'd be the only way.
Would you watch that game?
Well, I did watch it. I watched the NFC Championship game, the Eagles versus San Fran.
Oh, right.
I didn't. I had no choice. I had no choice though. I had no choice.
Idiot. See, I don't even remember that.
I didn't care who won that game. I just wanted whoever won that game to lose the Super Bowl. That was it.
Yeah.
And that's not spiteful.
That's not spiteful. It's just that's how you're supposed to be as a fan. I mean, I'm not going to cheer for the Eagles. I'm not going to cheer for San Fran if they're in the Super Bowl.
No, and fans are the worst thing about sports, and also the best thing about sports.
Yeah, all of the Can fans are the best thing about
the
sports.
Can Fanomaniacs. So I have a little blog up here by Blogging the Boys. Shout out. Matthew Holleran. And I haven't
Hollering at this post.
I haven't read it yet, but the dude knows how to write a clickbait title. Cowboys DT Mozzie Smith named as one of 6 rookies projected to make an immediate impact.
What do you guys think about that? I honestly, I did see this. I was kind of looking through some of the headlines today.
Yep.
And I mean, we're expecting it. And he's primed to be that type of player. But do you honestly, I mean, you got to think. Before getting into the article, off the top of our heads, we did a lot of pre-draft stuff, right? I could see like Bijan Robinson being one of those guys. I could see possibly a few of the wide receivers, but I completely believe Mozzie Smith could step in and be that dude right off the bat.
He has all the potential in the world with the guys he's stacked up on the line with. You look at Micah Parsons on the right side, right? And then D-Law, Coach Law on the left, and then whoever else is beside him in the middle. All 3 of those dudes that they could be potentially rotating in there, and Mozzie Smith, part of that rotation too, they're all very competent and provide not a weakness, right? So if Mozzie, like the ideal thing, of course, is Mozzie Smith comes out and leads that pack. But even if he's somewhere in the middle, I don't think that's. I think that's a little bit of a disappointment, but it would still help. We definitely, the point of him being on the team is to stop runners from coming up the middle. So
get that big ass body in there, that big muscly body, and just throw people around. Clog that middle. Be like Taco Bell shit. Just clog that toilet, man. Get in there and just stuff it up.
That's right.
Don't let anyone through. Don't let anything through. So, and I think Mozzie's definitely set up to be that guy. Does it tell the other 6 guys in this, or does it just kind of go over Mozzie?
2-time Can Fan Award winner Budgie Eric saying that McCarthy is super impressed with Alacron playing DT.
I like that. I mean, look, it's a stacked position, so I mean, a little bit of an uphill battle. But if it turns out that Alacron, is it Isaac Alacron? I can't remember.
Yeah, Isaac. Yeah.
If he ends up on the D, and I mean, it would be a dream come true for that guy. He's been grinding in the NFL for a long time now.
I do like because they get to keep that position, right? Because he's the international spot. So it doesn't hurt them to keep trying to. He's been on the team since what was it? The year that I think we started the podcast.
I think this is his 3rd or 4th year now.
Third year.
It's definitely been 2 years. So
because he was on Hard Knocks, right? So that was 2021, 2022, and this is 2023. Obviously, he switched positions from tackle to defensive tackle, offensive tackle to defensive tackle. But we're rooting for him.
Yeah, yes, we are, sir. I thought you were going to get Ants to read out like.
Well,
I can't read anything, but that's
I
can't read anything.
I knew that, and that's why I was trying to do it.
I was just looking to see if there was
more people.
I don't know if it says the names of the guys. I'm going to try to see.
Well,
I'm kind of interested. I'm kind of interested.
Are.
Okay, so take a look through.
I found it.
I was going to say take a look through. I'm going to just give a shout out to Rolando Rodriguez from last podcast. Came on and says Cowboys Can Fan, what's up from South Texas? Let's hear some great information from America's team, and then with his classic cheers emojis and football emojis, which we enjoy.
We got the Google beast up. We're gonna be Googling it. We're gonna be doing a little bit of Micah comparisons. We got a show today, boys. We got ourselves a show.
We got a banger.
I love we got to call him R2.
R2. Okay.
R2, Rolando Rodriguez. That's a sick name too, by the way. I might have said that last time, and I will say it again in the future. So here's that article: the 6 NFL rookie project. Adam,
6 NFL rookie projects expected to develop, contribute right away in 2023.
And so the reason we're looking at this right now is because Mozzie Smith has made this list, and we're just kind of curious who else is on this list.
And it's a bleacherreport.com. So this is where the rabbit trail goes. We're hopping websites by Brent Sobleski.
Solbes.
Solby.
Solberito. Okay, QB Anthony Richard. Oh, what the fuck is this? It's other teams. We were foiled.
No, but Mozzie probably will be on this list.
He is on this list, but I thought it was Dallas Cowboys.
Oh no, you didn't know? No, I knew. I knew it was going to be.
Oh yeah, because it's a 6 NFL rookie project.
Zach Sharby.
Put him on the list. Zach Charbonnet will be on it. I was going to say Anthony Richardson. Bijan Robinson. Mozzie Smith.
What's his name? JSN.
JSN possibly. Who is another one of the? I'm trying to think here. We got to think of the some of the top picks here. But I feel like they're going to go spoilers. Let's see what we got. Anthony Richardson. Who's next?
Anthony Richardson wanted him. Didn't get him. Luke Van Ness, Green Bay Packers defensive line.
He's looking good in that jersey, I have to say.
Look at him. He's
stupidest fucking logo in the NFL, but it works.
And he definitely, his size doesn't really necessarily strike me as a defensive line already. So he's probably fast.
He's looking inbred and corn fed.
Offensive tackle Broderick Jones, Pittsburgh Steelers.
We wanted him.
We did.
Yep.
We wanted that BJ. We wanted OT BJ, but it just didn't happen.
We wanted that BJ big
Looks
time.
like he's having a squatty deuce right there.
Looks like he's taking a deuce.
And if you're just watching, there's our guy.
There's our guy, Mozzie.
Damn, look how big he is. Look at his fucking arm.
Look at those guns.
Holy shit,
Great
his arms,
thighs.
His biceps are...
At this point, if you guys just turn the visuals off and just hear us explain how gorgeous Mozzie Smith's body is.
His arms look like an anaconda is swallowing his torso.
I like this. Mozzie looks like he's got that killer instinct. If you're just listening to this, you got to get over to the YouTube because there's pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
But Mozzie's looking yoked.
Man, look, all the hope in the world. This is what you want to see. Let's finish this list off. Jonathan Mingo.
The Mingo-nator.
Mingo, my dingo.
Bingo. We got a Mingo.
And last but not least, Luke Musgrave. Get him the fuck out of here. We got our own Luke.
We got our own fucking Luke. Get out of here.
So 2 Packers on that list.
So
you got Musgrave and Luke and 2 Lukes. So don't like it. Don't trust it. I don't like this list besides the fact that Mozzie made it. All right. So Mozzie Smith has made the list of top 6 rookies that should have an immediate impact. Interesting list.
Oh, you know what? Our boy Dallas Cowboys Chris popped in. He's packing a bag heading to New Orleans.
Oh.
And he says, crack 'em.
Chris, what up?
Chris, we appreciate you listening to some packing music right now.
What are you doing in New Orleans?
Some packing. Yeah, what are you doing in New Orleans?
Only tell us if you can tell us, and if you can't, then make up a story and we'll believe it anyway.
And then our boy, 2-time Bocce Eric says, Oxnard, red alert, Oxnard.
We there.
Yeah. Have we figured out, have they announced the days yet? The actual days for the training?
I don't think so. I mean, we know the general dates, but it'll be that weekend we were talking about, whatever. It should be on that, just how it lines up.
Okay, 3 Cowboys, undrafted free agents that will make the team cream.
Now, can we guess? It looks like right there they got
Loopy.
Hunter. Hunter. Who did I say? Kukli? He's long retired. Hunter
Lepke.
I'm just going to call him HL. I'm going to call him HL.
HL double hockey stick.
Chris is going to New Orleans to drink.
Yeah,
Fucking
Chris.
A.
Yeah, he is. Crack him, baby.
Good enough reason. This is on Blogging the Boys again by LP Cruz.
LP Cruz train.
So this,
there he is, Hunter.
I am excited about HL making the team.
Do you want to do the honors, or do you want me?
So Hunter Lepke, finding a place on the roster shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody. Lepke, sometimes known as Lipke's versatility and ability means he finds a way onto the roster. As a prospect, Hunter Lepke was a drawn comparison to 49ers fullback Kyle Juszczyk in how he can run the football, be a lead blocker, and catch passes out of the backfield just like Boobie Miles. Over his collegiate career at North Dakota State, Loopy, which they missed a K, totaled over 1,000 yards rushing and nearly 500 yards receiving for the Bison. So where he fits in the roster is the absence of a power running back, which is what we said. You can't replace Ezekiel Elliott with one player. You got to replace him with multiple players. Lepke has demonstrated he can be strong downhill runner in short yardage, and currently the Cowboys need somebody of that ilk on the team, which we've said multiple times. Additionally, head coach Mike McCarthy has taken over play calling duties and has always had a boner for utilizing fullbacks in his offense. The Cowboys' new offense, labeled the Texas Coast, is sure to use a short passing game to backs out of the backfield. Lepke's diverse talent have a place on the team. I'm definitely going to now find out how to pronounce his name.
Oh no, okay. I was just gonna say this. We're demonetized, boys. Get onto YouTube right now.
Oh yeah, let's figure it out.
Put his name in and let's hear somebody say his fucking name.
Yeah.
So that we could just put that sword in the dragon and start our pronunciation. Start correcting our pronunciation now. So by the start of season, we're saying it properly.
Bandwagon Boy number 2, aka AJ, is looking for that Anth. How do you feel about the assessment here about him being that power running back?
Well, like they said in the article, I don't think one guy's going to match what Ezekiel Elliott did for this team. Zeke had the 12 touchdowns, but he also had that crazy talent of being able to pick up pass in protection and block Dak from blitzing linebackers and defensive ends. So I think he'd fit in nicely with the running back room to kind of shore up a little bit of a miss or a little bit of a spot that we're going to miss Zeke at. So I'm excited. I think he has a very good chance of making the team, and I think he's going to be a fan favorite if he does.
Sweet. Okay, yeah, AJ's about to play it here for us.
Just got to make sure that my sound's working. It might be off. Let's see.
You say you might beat off?
Yeah, he's definitely.
There was no North Dakota State football player who had his eyes more fixed by the fans than Hunter Lepke, the All-American running back /
Hunter Lepke. But we don't know.
Yeah,
Does this fucking boner know?
Does this fucking guy from WDA ABC know?
Hey,
Lepke.
So he says Lepke. Let's try one more. Let's corroborate. Let's corroborate the evidence that we have in front of us here. So I'm gonna go.
I do like that we have some. I like that we had some Cole Beasley in the videos that we should have clicked. Sometimes I'm in my feelings.
Sometimes I am or not.
I don't know if they're actually gonna say his name on this.
So Lepke.
What is it about you guys in these end of first half plays? It's now the third time we've seen you guys go into the locker room with an explosive touchdown.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got some pretty good talent on the edge.
Fuck you, Zeb. Oh, there's our boy right there.
Why does that guy look like someone on Super Troopers?
Teams really nicely. Not really too much. I mean, it's cool and all, but I'm more.
You know what? Let's find this out another time.
I'm going with Lepke.
I'll go with Lepke.
That's what the guy said.
Lepke.
Yep.
Okay,
Lepke.
Hunter
Yeah,
Lepke.
I like it.
Okay, up next we got Earl Bostick.
Who the fuck is Earl Bostick?
That's what we all
We're about
said.
to find out. We're about to find out right now.
So a few years ago, the team mined a hidden treasure after picking up Terrence Steele as an undrafted signing in 2020. Look for Earl Bostick to find similar path to the NFL. Bostick comes to Dallas boasting excellent athleticism for his size as an offensive tackle. Bostick is a converted tight end with nimble feet and good balance, which AJ likes that type of player.
He likes it.
Bostick
is he big?
Yeah. The former Big 12 All-American plays himself on the roster, finding a spot behind Matt Waletzko, who is playing both right tackle and left guard. If Dallas plans to have Waletzko, I don't know how I did my announcer voice. If Dallas plans to have Waletzko serve such a significant...
transition nicely.
It did, yeah. Just ad got jacked up right to the announcer voice. I love it. Hey, you got me stoked for Earl Bostick or Bostick.
Okay,
Let's
so
go.
if Dallas plans to have Waletzko serve as a significant purpose as a swing tackle left guard, it means two things. One, Waletzko's aptitude for playing in multiple spots potentially saves the team a roster spot. Two, considering the health of Tyron Smith, the team has an urgent need to secure not one, but two swing tackles. Bostick heads to camp competing directly with Josh Bizidabal, who struggled mightily last season.
Yeah.
Number three, the Cowboys gave Bostick a guaranteed bonus of 200 racks to ensure he has a place on the team.
So they threw some money at him.
And that's the bottom line, because this, I forget who the columnist is. Whose columnist is this? Doesn't
LP Cruise Train.
LP Cruise Train said so.
So, I guess it's good to have backup tackles, and yes, like you said, Ant, they threw money at him so that he must be worth something rather than just a fucking waiver, you know?
Yeah, he's a project right now. They see something in him. He's got all the intangibles. They just got to coach him up a little bit. Coach him up. And the Dallas Cowboys have the proper coaches and front office to do it. Crack him over there, baby.
Crack
him if you got
Yeah. Well,
fine. Least but not last, David Durden. That's the wide receiver, right, guys?
Yeah, and I really like this. I'm
Double
going to bring up his photo.
We got Double D, David Durden. David Durden is a Division II prospect out of West Florida with an intriguing background. Once in the Boston Red Sox farm system, Durden returned to the gridiron and had a productive final campaign for the Argonauts. After recording over 1,113 touchdowns in 2022, Durden earned heads among a few draft analysts, and he was made the focus of the Athletics Prospect X. The well-traveled Durden, a.k.a. Double D, will sure be to make a few plays at training camp and in the preseason. At 6'2" and 220, Alex's size, Durden has a terrific size and speed ratio, having run a 4.4 40 dash in the lead up to the draft. Durden
He's got wheels. He's got wheels, baby.
We got wheels on
flying.
Durden. Double
He's
Durden.
flying.
Double Durden. Don't call me Tyler Durden. Enters training camp with a reputation as a tireless worker and has ball skills that are sure to grab the coaching staff's attention and nuts. Durden also carries value as a special teams contributor. He averaged 17.7 yards in punt return last season and returned 1 for a score. Durden will contend primarily with Simi Fioco, Cavante Turpin, Jalen Tolbert, and fellow undrafted receivers Jalen Marine Cropper and Jose Barbin to make the team. Durden has an uphill battle, but it's an unsurmountable one. You know I'm doing something wrong when AJ's correcting me on how to pronounce a name.
His name is David Durden. That's all I was thinking about the whole time.
Is David Durden.
We need to, if he makes the team, we have to make the soundbite. You know, his name is Tyler Durden. And we just got to dub our own voices over David. So it'd be like, his name is David Durden.
His name is David Durden. Okay, well, tell me what you think about this, about David Durden.
Ooh. I mean,
now, hang on, though.
I know. I saw the second one. I was about to say something, but...
I almost smacked my laptop screen.
I know. Are you ready for the glow-up, though? Boom!
Oh, yeah. Okay, I like that.
That.
I like that. That's better. That looks like a guy that's ready to get out there and fucking throw his bows. He's about to throw bows.
Did anybody 23andMe him, though? Like that, there's no fucking way he's is in college. Like, bring up that other photo of him.
Yeah, how old is this dude?
Look at this. He fucking looks. He looks like he's been doing my family's life insurance for the last 15 years.
Yeah, he might be like.
He looks like he's taught. He looks like he's taught AP. Physics for 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
He's an AP physics teacher.
He does look like my first science teacher.
Mr. Durden.
Hey, kids, I'm going to teach science.
Chlorophyll, more like borophyll.
Trying to find his
stats
birth date.
Double R2's asking a question. Cowboys fan, if the Cowboys keep a fullback to block, who is the Cowboys power back? Go Cowboys, America's team. If they keep Hunter Lepke, then he'll be our power back.
I agree.
Okay, sorry.
He's gotta be.
He has to be.
So he committed to Mercer University to play football in 2017.
Oh my god. So is he like
he's in mid-20s?
Is he a Van Wild?
He's like 25, 26 probably.
Hey, he's
going
got
on
that
50.
maturity.
Yeah, Jesus.
I like him.
I like him.
I like it though.
Look, Durden, come on here. I want if we can get a player like a Wes Welker, and then who else was it? The Patriots went back to back with a player like that.
Wes Welker and
Edelman.
Yeah, Julian Edelman. Oh, Edelman.
Someone like that who's just not necessarily mind blowing during the season, but in the playoffs, and they play with hard grit.
Yeah.
And a guy like that, 6'2", whatever he was, 220 pounds. I mean, it is the, I don't know if it's a huge standout because CD's actually pretty tall and heavier than we thought, but he just looks lanky. But having one of those, a big powerful catcher who goes up there and contends for balls, just adding a little toughness.
You want a guy who's going to get dirty in the trenches.
Yeah, and not saying that that we don't have a tough team.
Nope.
But I like, it's same with hockey. It's like can we get an enforcer? Just if
get someone who's going to go plant themselves in the middle of the box.
Yeah,
which you're right. We didn't have that on offense last year. Anyone that was receiving the ball, you don't have that grinder like a Hines Ward from Pittsburgh, or like that guy that's going to get those dirty yards and take the hits and get up. So if you get a guy that might have a bit of a chip on his shoulder because he went off undrafted and wants to get in there and pick up some dirty yards and work his way onto the squad, I'm all for it, man.
Well, and like if you look at, I watched Julian Edelman's football life, and like for the first few seasons, he was not he almost got cut a couple times, and then all of a sudden, like year 2 or 3 or 3 or 4, he started to like really kind of go into line and start molding with the
Played
team.
with the GOAT.
Yeah.
Played with the GOAT.
Look, I mean,
Makes anybody
very
look good.
true. But the GOAT kept him around for a reason. Him
Right.
and Welker, right? And his catch against the Falcons, was it? Where that ball
Super
was
Bowl?
fucking just bouncing around. And like that is, I mean, there's so many catches in the NFL, but I think that one can stand out for a very long time as one of the top catches.
Yep.
Definitely. And the best part about that, there's a sound of the sidelines or a mic'd up, and he that catch happens and it's got the cool view. And as he catches, he's screaming, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Cause he knows he caught it.
Yeah.
And it was like it was a pivotal part of the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, that catch is probably, I'd say, top 10 in craziest catches for what it was worth. Like the Patriots at the time were trailing back after being down for so much. The weight of it, the situation, it's in the Super Bowl. Maybe it's not considered the greatest catch if it's like week 2 against
it's still maybe a highlight.
It might be a highlight.
Top 100 highlights of the year on ESPN.
You have the technically good catches. Like, okay, that was like that route and the way you grabbed it, maybe the difficulty going into like 2 or 3 person coverage. But then you have those catches that are like game mattering catches that also just take a mediocre catch and amplifies it based on the pressure and everything like that.
Yeah, totally.
Now I have to watch Julian Edelman's football life after I get off the show.
Well, he was he was a quarterback, and then he got shifted around, and then he got thrown into. He was a quarterback, then he was like a returner, and then
the craziest thing is he wouldn't go out for dinner with Tom Brady because he just he thought he was better at quarterback than Tom Brady.
Yeah,
he just thought he was better. He would not eat with him.
I ain't going out there anywhere with you, Tom.
He's like, Tom might be a slightly better quarterback than me. I'll admit that. But I'm a hell of a better wide receiver than him, and I'm going to prove it every single week until I get my chance. Yeah. Speaking of players that played different positions in high school, Micah Parsons played running back. And have you seen his highlights, man, as a running back? I mean, every NFL player, when you look at their high school highlights, it's like, oh, there he is. You can just tell.
Yeah. Ray Lewis was a running back. Like there's all these guys that are amazing, especially linebackers, because the size of them when they were in high school, most of them played linebacker and most of them played running back, and they were just amazing at both spots.
Yeah, and it's pretty common for like players in high school to play offense and defense. That's wild.
Well, because you get this kid, right? You get this kid,
talented, athletic,
a 1 in a million athlete, right? You got to milk them. You got to milk them like that. Those rats that in the Simpsons when they milk every inch of them.
Let's stay on that for a second. Do you think then that kind of they play both ends and they're used to playing so much? So like when you see Micah Parsons in the NFL now, and even when he maybe should take some time to recoup, and he's always like, I want to go back in because they're so conditioned to be playing so much. I know, obviously, the NFL is a completely different speed, but I think
college, that's already out by college, right?
Yeah,
like they're not going.
No.
Yeah, they're not playing both sides of the ball in college.
No, I know they're not, but I'm saying like fundamentally because you're doing that you're doing that in your most impressionable years.
But I think
like you're wired to your behavior habits want you to do that. Like, do you think it screws them up for attitude?
I think that's just Micah's personality. He wants to be out there. He thinks he's better than everybody, which is awesome. He feels like he could be. I imagine Micah thinks like he could be a top 20 running back in the NFL. I honestly believe Micah thinks that.
Top 20, and he probably thinks top 10.
He's probably like, man, give me,
I love.
Give me the ball. I wonder what would happen if they let him dangle for a couple runs.
Or even like Trevon Diggs. Like Trevon Diggs played wide receiver in college. I wonder what he would be like running as a wide receiver in the NFL.
Exactly. Imagine they just do two surprise plays like that, and they have Diggs and Micah. I feel like we need to do that on the next Madden game. Put them as a wideout.
And
and a
build
running
them. So what you do, because I don't know if you can actually set them to positions.
You can
Like
change in Madden.
You can't 100%. Like if he's a linebacker, you can still.
From last year, you can go to any player and edit their position. Yes.
Well, I think we're gonna have to play a franchise mode with just Micah as running back.
Yep. But both positions.
Both positions. He's playing double.
Yeah.
Double side. It's gonna be exhausted.
Yeah. If anybody can do it, Micah could.
The Lion.
Well,
he's hungry.
Speaking of the Lion.
Okay. Sorry. I'm. Boom. Look at that. Jerry Jones kissing a baby. Out there kissing babies.
Jerry Jones.
Kiss the baby.
Just fucking washed out and angelic.
Do you think after the photo he's just like, did you just kiss my kid?
Huh? I kiss all babies I hold. They all get the kiss of Jerry. Yeah, so we are going to be comparing Micah Parsons to the best NFL and Dallas Cowboys defensive ends and edge rushers of all time. Now, quick note, one big omit
just us
from
here.
here.
You don't have to be quick.
Well, is DeMarcus where? Because we did
We did it last week
with
2 weeks ago.
It's weird because he
wears a linebacker.
Yes, he's as a linebacker, but then they also add him to like defensive end lists. So it's but I it is what it is.
So where basically is for the Cowboys played as a 3-4 linebacker, and then with the Broncos he was an edge, like a defensive end.
Okay.
But
Right. So he did play both then.
But
he played both, yeah.
Are we just doing the first 2 seasons?
This is again. Well, I adjusted it a little.
Tricksy,
It's always going to be the first 2 relevant seasons for comparison's sake. So, but I made a note here, and I can explain it as we go through each one. It's very, very simple. But like basically, there's no if a player who we know was very good didn't have a starting season, for example, or didn't play very much for their first season for whatever. What we're really trying to do here is just compare Micah Parsons to these guys. So he would have blown them out of the water then. But let's get a comparison against them, say, in years 2 and 3 or 3 and 4, which is even harder because they're that much more experienced. And one thing I did learn from doing this is the explosion, and this is a positive thing for Micah Parsons, the explosion of like excellence from all of these players that happens at year 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like it's just almost consistent that they all had very good starts, some better than others. But by the time they're in their 4th or 5th year and plus 3rd year as well, they are really starting to come into their own, and you can see their stats start to like consistently be top.
They hit that curve, they get that learning curve, and then they're just
baby.
They can take the speed of the game and everything they've learned, and now 100% use their athletic abilities to do pretty much what they want on the field.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see how long and consistent players retain that once they hit it. It was like pretty much, I'm just off the top of my head, but to be conservative, like a 4 or 5 year stretch that once they hit their kind of hot streak, they were able to keep it going. So he's in good company, but it doesn't matter. We've seen the failures like Aldon Smith, who started hot and then just fucking dropped right off, right?
Sean Merriman.
Yeah, that was the most surprising one I thought from last
Merriman.
Week. Yep.
Sean Merriman just started lights. He started lights out. Was that his dance?
Lights out. Well, he had like, I think, what was it, 30 in the first two years, and then finished with 59 sacks or something.
Yeah,
like
definitely petered out a little bit.
Okay, well, here's just a quick recap on our boy Micah Parsons. He's played. This is his 2021 to present, so 2 seasons. 33 games played, 149 total sacks, 106 solo sacks, 33 tackles. Sorry, you're right. 149 total tackles. Let me start that again. Solo tackles 106.
But that's 106 out of the total tackle. Okay.
Yeah. It's not additional. Yeah. Okay. 33 tackles for a loss, 56 quarterback hits, 26 and a half sacks, 6 pass deflections, and 6 forced fumbles.
0.
So one thing,
Zero ins.
Yeah. Well, but one thing that when I posted this, because I did post it at Cowboys Can Fan on the Instagram.
I would love to see all the fucking comments.
No, just people being like, don't forget his touchdown. He has a touchdown. He has one touchdown. He has a touchdown. He got the touchdown. He had a touchdown. So a bunch of people were letting me know that he had a touchdown.
Okay,
I mean, hey,
that's
a very fair.
They're telling me like I wasn't dressed up as as Kurt Cobain just before Halloween watching, or I could have been Madonna. You don't know. I look like Madonna. I look like Kurt Cobain. But yes, he also has one touchdown.
Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a
you look like Andy Dick from Old School when he's giving the blowjob scene.
Oh, God.
I look like Andy Dick if he never found cocaine. You know, just a little bit of weight on me.
No, you're Andy Dick if he got off of cocaine and he blew it up. Because Andy Dick was a pinner. Not saying that you're a fatto.
You guys ready to get fucking vaped up? If you're watching this, or if you're listening to this, you need to come watch because this is a psychedelic title page. Top Dallas Cowboys
defensive ends.
Let's do it.
Okay,
Jim Jeffcoat.
Jim Jeffcoat.
So there may be some omissions, but it's really just because we want to get to. There's a lot, by the way, and we just want to get to the best comparisons that we can. So some guys, they didn't have stats. You know,
I feel like the picture's wrong, dude. That's got to be a tackle. That's an offensive lineman.
Well, let me see. Jim Jeffcoat, defensive end, and it's
77.
I know. Yeah. That's
doesn't that look like? That's crazy.
It's him. That's a great photo too, right there. The left one.
He looks like he's blocking a defensive end.
He's huge.
I know. You're right, but that is a DT or a defensive end.
Dude,
so this was definitely before our time.
Just remember, So Jim Jeffcoat, 1983 to 1994, two-time Super Bowl champion, NFL forced fumbles co-leader in '88. Played for 12 years, all Dallas, on our boys.
No, he
played for more than 12 years, but he played for 12 years with Dallas.
Yeah.
I would love to put him on the offensive line right now, just looking at him.
I know, right?
You're right, Ant. That does look like he is a tackle.
But oh, for sure. Like, I mean, even the other
way that he's standing.
Just that picture, I was like, that can't be the actual guy we're talking about. And 77's a weird number for a defensive lineman.
Dallas Cowboys Chris has 100+ sacks. That's a picture of Tyron Smith.
Okay, but here he goes. Here, you know, with these guys with the older stats, and NFL, you got $1 billion fucking almost $1 trillion industry.
Go back.
Go get some intern to go through and start recording these stats so we can have proper comparisons because the people demand it, and then they shit on us.
Well, we can't just go ahead and get an intern doing it because if an intern goes out there and they mess up one stat, we'll have an entire World Wide Web mad at us. So it's better for us to just omit it than to actually correct it. Okay, so looking through it, Anth, what do we got here? So Jeffcoat.
Jim Jeffcoat, his first two full season comparison here. He beat out Micah in tackles per game. He had 5, and Micah, of course, to refresh everyone's memory, 4.5 tackles per game. Jesus, what's going on with me? 26.5 total sacks for Micah compared to Jeffcoat's 23.5. And Micah has a 0.8 sacks per game average, and he beats out Jeffcoat for 0.7.
I like that you wrote Jeffcoat, and I don't know if that was intentional.
It was
an accident, but then you kept it.
I just noticed it now as well, but I didn't want to point it out. But
the Jeffcoat defense.
Yeah, the Jeffcoat defense. That's what I think. Keeping Jeffcoat is great.
Yeah, whichever side he was on, he's like, "Welcome to the Jeffcoat."
Yeah,
population, not you.
Population Jim.
Population Jim. Come back, Jim, so we can.
Our boy R2's helping us out here. He goes, Cowboys Can Fan. Back in the day, old school, the defensive lineman only wore in the 70s. Go Cowboys.
See, I didn't know that.
His team.
FNA.
I didn't know that.
So then
This is it's a history lesson for us, you know? This is what we appreciate.
Then
Thanks,
we got
R2.
A kind of more recent guy, but a little bit.
Can I give you some folklore?
Yeah.
This is some Cowboys folklore.
This is Greg Ellis.
This is who we took instead of Randy Moss.
Oh, shit.
This is who the Cowboys took in the first round over. And he had a successful career, but he was no Randy Moss.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he was had his best year, I guess, in 2007, the NFL Comeback Player of the Year, as well as being named or added to the Pro Bowl, whatever. But he played 11 years with Dallas and ended up with 77 total sacks.
That's not bad. I mean,
Not
that's
bad.
a successful career. I mean, it's tough to judge these guys, especially when you can. I mean, you can go back to any first-round pick that had a good year, and you could always find someone that had a Hall of Fame career that you probably could have taken instead. So you can't really hold it against Greg Ellis, the player, because the Cowboys took him over Randy Moss. But it's always that asterisk against him a little bit.
Yeah, well, what you don't know until you know.
Right? And then no.
Sorry, two things. One,
If you ever fucking apologize again,
I will never apologize. Two-time bot G Eric is saying, recap for me, baby. Missed the last 20 minutes being a hero. Witness a car run over a cyclist. Had to administer some first aid till the paramedics arrived.
that's boots on the fucking ground.
That is boots on the ground. Holy shit.
Hey, Eric gets there, and they're like, my leg, and he just starts performing CPR on them.
Because he's listening.
Boots is like, stop. It's really hard for me to give you CPR while you're talking.
and he's like, and then he realizes they're like, what are you doing? I'm listening to the Can Fan podcast.
He's got his headphones in so he can. Hey man, well,
Boots is folklore.
Oh,
Boots
absolutely.
is Can Fan's folklore. What a
What a beauty.
what a man. What a good man.
Hey, nice throwback. What were you? What is this? You keep going back to the well on.
I'm just confirming something.
Okay. Okay, but Greg Ellis, let's get into it. What he did here. I mean, it's just to bring up again. These are some of the greats. Yeah, okay, it's whatever, 25 or X amount of years ago. But Micah just dominates in all departments, beating out Ellis for tackles per game, solo tackles per game, total sacks per game, and tackles for a loss per game.
Almost a landslide. Like
It's a massive landslide, and the fact that we drafted him over Randy Moss. I'm not saying it was a waste, but
here's one thing I will say, though. I don't think it's really fair to be comparing some of these decades, and I don't know if this is one of the times, because the rules have shifted violently in football. Like, it might be one of the sports that has and continues today, and I don't mind that. I think that's actually positive that they're willing to make changes,
Right.
So CPR wasn't necessary. Okay. But
he said CPR wasn't. Boots just said CPR wasn't necessary, but he didn't stop me anyways.
He's like, my leg's kind of sore, but
No,
why don't you come down here and give me a little kiss?
Are you all right? Yeah.
Okay, Tony Tolbert. That's a great
Tony
name.
Tolbert. That is Tony. Don't call me Tolbert.
These are just that we're
now-
slowly dipping our toe into the comparisons. Okay, guys.
Any relation
This
to
is the
Jalen?
Yes.
Actually?
No.
Oh.
I was like, holy shit.
No.
I was like,
Sorry.
oh my God. Here we go.
But Tony is a 3-time Super Bowl champion. And he played his whole career with the Dallas Cowboys from 88 to 93.
I love that.
Second team All-Pro, Pro Bowler, and these are all just one-timers. And then the NFL All-Rookie team. So, go Tony. Look at those shoulder pads too, eh? And if you notice the picture I selected, and if you're just listening to audio, you need to come to youtube.com/CowboysCanFan. Or just search Cowboys Can Fan on YouTube or Google. We will pop up. Come join us Wednesdays and Sundays. But you'll see that he's ripping the helmet off of an Eagles player.
And do you think
Love it.
do you think his nickname was TT?
Oh, yeah. TT.
Here comes TT.
I would call him TT Tolbert,
TT.
even though it doesn't make sense.
I mean, it was before. Actually,
Tony Tolls.
Tony Tolbert probably played one season with everybody calling him T2. Because it was
Tony
93 he retired, and T2 came out in 91, 92.
Right.
So he had one season where everyone's like, oh, you're like T2.
Maybe 2 seasons.
Maybe 2 seasons.
Maybe.
Possibly 2 seasons.
Okay. Again, Tony Tolbs himself had just 5 tackles per game, which beat out Micah by 0.5. Micah had 4.5. Otherwise, another landslide victory, although a little bit better. Tony wasn't too bad in his first 2 seasons, or his first 2 full seasons here, which was his year 3 and 4. So that goes to tell you a little bit more about Micah's performance here. But he had 0.5 sacks per game, which I think is pretty respectable.
Respectable.
You get that out of someone, I'd take it.
I'm assuming he wasn't, and we won't get into this, but I'm thinking he's probably a 3rd to 5th round pick, which is that's super successful for that type of pick.
Yeah.
I'm going to add that to this doc so we don't forget it, but I think that's interesting where they were picked. And just put that somewhere on here and
to see if they exceed or don't exceed the draft expectations.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, because that's that. It's not like it's not for our ranking purposes. It's just for our own knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. We want. Here's the thing. It's a little bit of history that we're going through. It's just a little touch.
I like it. I like it. I do.
Too Tall Jones.
What's his first name though?
Ed.
Ed Too Tall Jones.
Ed Too Tall Jones. He was a Super Bowl champion, a first-team All-Pro. Do you hate that I'm not reading the dates?
In my mind,
Go ahead.
in my mind, when you read it out, I read the dates in my head.
Okay, go ahead, do it.
Super Bowl champion. I don't know. First team All-Pro in 82, 2 times second team All-Pro in 81 and 83, 3 times Pro Bowler 81 to 83, nice. And our favorite PFWA All-Rookie team in 74.
So he really came into his own later in his career, or like mid-career. Like mid-career, he's hitting first team All-Pro in 82, was in the NFL in 74. So that's 8 years late. Like he had a long career, and he really hit stride.
Long. Yeah,
really hit stride mid-career, which I like. I like to see that.
Yeah, 9-10 years later, and he ended
72
up with
again.
Yeah. He ended up with 106 sacks by the end of it. So
respectable.
Whoa, that's yeah.
But again, Micah just came in, dominated. We don't need to talk much about it. But shout out to Ed Too Tall Jones. Ed Too Tall had in his first 2 seasons 9.5 sacks, and that's an average of 0.34 sacks a game. I'm not super stoked on that, but again, if some idiot would have, if the idiot would have put the where they were drafted on, we could have been able to talk about that. But the stupid idiot didn't do that.
Moron.
What an idiot. Dumb shit. What a dumb shit.
Cowboys can fan. The Eagles quarterback number 12, is that Randall Cunningham? Go Cowboys. I think on your previous photo. Yeah, it was. Flug him.
It was. Yep.
Oh.
It was Randall. That's Randall Cunningham.
Yeah, he's ripping his head off like.
Oh, double crack him for Too Tall Jones. Crack him if you
got him, son.
Dallas Cowboys Chris says he stopped playing football for 2 years to be a professional boxer.
That's fucking mint.
And then came back.
That's awesome.
I think
that's so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's talking about Too Tall Jones.
Yeah. Randy White. And I picked this picture specifically for that fucking midriff, which it's a little cut off, but that's all right.
And it's funny because our boy R2 was already talking about Randy White, and he wore 54, but he started as a linebacker and was able to keep his number. So he's going back to his folklore.
I think was Randy White a tackle or an end? Anyways, doesn't matter.
Defensive end, since we're talking about defensive ends.
I did run into that problem. I started building this out, and I had a bunch of D tackles. And it's very hard to get specific with defensive end. But Randy White, at the end of the day, was a defensive end enough. I didn't see anything that put him in a linebacker, but I'm not doubting that that's true. It's just what I was looking at. So
great mid-drift, great stash. I think now going forward, you have to say if someone's like, "What are you doing with your face?" You say, "Well, I'm going my Randy White."
I'm getting a Randy White going.
He's going to going with Randy White. So Randy White,
look at that fucking belly hair. I can't get that. That's nice. That's a treasure trail.
Hang on, I gotta get a different.
That is a treasure trail.
The best part about it,
that's a Bessie belly right there.
Oh, yeah, but it's a reverse treasure trail. It's not leading to his goods. It's leading to his mustache.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
It's leading to his Randy White. So Randy White, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl co-MVP, 7-time first team All-Pro, second team All-Pro in 80. 9-time Pro Bowler, 77 to 85.
In a row. 9 years in a row.
9 years in a row. NFL 1980s All-Decade Team. NFL 100th Anniversary All-Time Team. That our favorite PFWA All-Rookie Team
there it
in
is.
75. And a motherfucking Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor.
You know he's legit if he's got the PFWA All-Rookie team.
Yeah. And then
better than Ring of Honor.
Better than the ROH.
Yeah.
Do you have the PFW rookie team? No. Fuck you.
Randy was a beast.
Look at this.
So
would you look at that?
Now, in fairness, this is his first 2 full seasons, so season 3 and 4, what Mike is coming up to now. But hey, it makes it fun because the other comparison, he would have
dominated.
Yeah, he just would have dominated. The comparison wouldn't be fun. So we're having fun here.
So in two more seasons, we'll come back to these
motherfuckers.
Exactly. We'll come back to the defensive ends so that we can say, all right, Randy White, let's see who you are beating now. So it won't be Micah.
Or we might want to stick for the first 2 years, but I hope not.
Yeah.
So Randy White, 28.5 sacks for an outstanding 0.95 sacks a game in his first in season 3 and 4. But who's to say that Micah can't get to that 1 sack per game, which would just be lights out, Sean Merriman.
That's our shot for all those audio listeners.
We're lighting it out.
We're lighting it out.
Okay.
Actually, I should have flickered the lights a little bit here.
Here's a fun one, and you can tell by his picture.
Charles motherfucking Haley.
So Charles Haley ended up with 111 sacks. Did not start with the Cowboys though.
Nope.
Where did
San Fran?
Started with San Francisco. Yeah. That's right. But did play enough years on both teams that he ended up with the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor and the San Francisco 49ers Hall of Fame. I wonder how many players have that.
Ooh. It'd probably be him and Dion.
Not many.
Him and Dion?
Yeah. Very few. Very few.
You got to play enough to be real. Like, I could see a team like Jacksonville getting like Randy Moss on the team. I'm just hypothetically for 1 year and then putting him in there. But Hall of Fame just to have someone.
Yeah. But Charles
Peyton Manning, maybe the Broncos and because
they won a Super Bowl.
Possibly Aaron Rodgers coming up.
But yeah.
With Charles Haley though, San Francisco didn't want him anymore. Like he was a problem player, and it wasn't until he went to Dallas that he was kind of molded into being like a very solid player. Jimmy Johnson.
Oh no, he was still really good in San Francisco. It's just they were so used to winning Super Bowls. They were like, it's not worth it anymore, and they kind of got rid of him.
He's not a great locker room guy.
And we're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Okay. Read those. Read
so
that, and then I got something else for you to read.
5-time Super Bowl champion, 2 times first team All Pro, 5 times Pro Bowler, PFWA All Rookie Team. There it is. He's a Dallas Cowboys ROH. He's a San Fran Hall of Fame, and he's a locker room dick tugger.
He's a locker room dick tugger. Well, here we go. These are some stories from his teammates. I just brought up some quotes.
Okay. So
did you want to? Anth, you can't read these, right? So
I can't see. No, my screen's too far away.
Okay. I can read it. The reputation started with the penis, a fire hose of an organ that brought Haley more pride than any game-winning tackle. As he grew comfortable in the 49ers locker room, Haley would stroll up to an unsuspecting teammate, whip out his phallus, and repeatedly stroke it in his face. Players initially laughed it off, but Haley refused to stop. He would jerk off in the locker room.
Oh, sorry. I think these are all different quotes.
Oh, okay. So then here's another quote. Charles Haley, he would jerk off in the locker room, in the trainer's room. He'd wrap his hands around his penis, turn toward a Joe Montana or a John Taylor and bellow, "You know you want to suck this?" Or, "You only wish you had this, baby."
Can I just cut in real quick?
Yeah.
It sounds a lot like a Cowboys fan pre-show.
Totally. Alex is walking around. You want to suck this?
You guys are like, did you glue an acorn to the bottom of your torso?
Dude, your pants are off again.
And then the final one. Charles used to beat off in meetings while talking graphically of players' wives, says Michael Silver, who covered the 49ers for the Santa Rosa Press Democratic, to the point of something.
Ejaculation.
To the point of ejaculation.
Ejaculation.
That's fucking...
So this is the thing. Obviously, and it's been settled, like he had mental health. He's on meds now. Obviously, this is a time, the 90s is still kind of a little bit wild west as far as mental health. And clearly the guy was battling with some demons. And it came out this way.
No, but that just, I think it just shows how good this guy was that they allowed him to jerk off in front of their fucking quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like he was just that good that they're like.
Well, two things. One, they talking about it being a fire hose of an organ, so it was probably like a spectacle.
Yeah.
But second.
Yeah, it was big, like my forearm.
Just for the record, for you auto listeners, Arnold Schwarzenegger did not just show up on the pod.
Okay, bye. I love you.
Thank you. Go away. Totally forgot where I was going with. Oh, sorry, I do. So one, now this could be fucking Niners folklore. Is a Bang Bang Niners gang come from Charles Haley jerking off in the room?
Yep.
And two, there's no reports of him dick tugging in Dallas. So maybe the Cowboys corrected it.
I took the
there's some good ones. There's some good ones in Dallas.
Hey.
And I took the first week. There was about a list of like 20 different quotes. The list went on, but I figured after these three, you'd get the gist.
You get the gist.
But
I'm pretty sure the reason he got skidded out of San Francisco was something to do with he didn't like what was happening with a coach, and he went and took a dump and then came back with dirty, like shitty toilet paper and like threw it at the coach or something.
That was it.
That's why they got rid of him. The jerking off wasn't a thing. It was the shit. But San Francisco was eventually just done with his antics, and Dallas traded for him or got him and ended up going on and winning 3 Super Bowls. He's also on record to be one of those players, never lifted a weight, was never in the weight room. He was just
a freak.
A freak. A one in a billion.
We can handle piss and cum, but doo-doo?
Yeah, we don't
get him out of here.
We don't take
ooh to
bang,
the
bang, Niners gang.
And here's a fun one. Not a he's going to be historical, but I just wanted to say, well, how does he do against D-Law? You know, D-Law had a strong first 2 years we're about to see.
Second team All-Pro, 3 times Pro Bowler, 2017, 2018, and 2022.
And career Dallas Cowboy.
Yep.
But here we go. Now, Micah does dominate in all the departments. Okay. But D-Law's numbers are very respectable. And let me just bring in some of my favorite comparisons. I think the ones that matter most. His sacks per game is 0.78 and Micah's was 0.8. So just barely Micah there. Tackles for a loss per game are 0.9 for D-Law and 1 exactly for Micah. And QB hits per game were 1.5 for D-Law and 1.7 for Micah. So it's almost like he's just an upgrade of D-Law.
Yeah.
So
any
again, though,
this
is season 4 and 5, though.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
Which again, I think this is a great exercise.
Thanks for pointing that out.
I think this is a great exercise because you're looking at D-Law at 4 and 5, and you're like, oh yeah, Micah's just beating his numbers, and you're like, well, this is season 4 and 5. Micah's in season 1 and 2. I mean, again, we go back to it. We don't want a merriment Micah. We want a future Hall of Famer, Ring of Honor, Micah Parsons, who's going to set new records as he goes on.
2 paths are laid in front of you, Micah.
Who do you want?
Yeah, that is true, Anthony, and that season
because
4 and 5, yeah.
When you said D-Law had a strong season, I was like, I'm pretty sure I think he had like 0.5 sacks in his first year. So I was like, but this makes sense. Yeah. I do like seeing the 4 and 5, and this is why D-Law ended up getting paid. And D-Law is one of those weird edge rush or defensive end guys that he brings so much more to the table than just the sack numbers that he's great to have in counterpart with Micah. So
look at
Coach Law.
Coach Law, full season last year, totally different kind of defense. Like when we look at going from the 2021 season to 2022, we were worried about how the defense would perform, and obviously they had certain struggles, but D-Law and the line, outside of the run stoppage, but yeah, you could definitely see D-Law playing a full season versus him not.
Yeah, and 3.8 average tackles per game and 2.4 average solo tackles per game, respectable as well. But Micah's already on pace, and if he continues that trajectory, I mean, here's a thing.
He's gonna be a great Hall of Famer, S tier.
I'll save that thought, but
D-Law's an S
I
tier?
will say it. So now we're moving on to the top modern NFL.
The
defensive
top
ends.
modern NFL
So
defensive ends.
These are guys who are not
ends.
currently playing, but like, you know, in the last 5 years or so, stopped playing.
Yeah. I'm just laughing at your image because I could see Jerry Jones in the corner from when I look over here with the baby.
He looks
Baby Jay.
terrifying.
I know it is.
Looks like the boogeyman.
I haunt your dreams, Micah Parsons.
We're gonna go wildcatting. We're gonna go find oil.
Micah, I developed a technology that allows me to float into your dreams.
Your dreams, Micah. Your dreams.
I don't know how to get out, Micah. Wake up. You have to wake up.
Wake up, Micah. Wake up.
Okay, big boy J.J. Watt. Freshly retired, ending with his career with 114.5 sacks and a remarkable 317 quarterback hits.
I'm just gonna name a couple of his main stats. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year for 2017. Obviously, he's a PFWA All Rookie Team in 2011.
Well, you skipped the biggest one. 3 times NFL Defensive Player of the Year. The very top one's probably the most impressive one.
I wasn't finished doing my rant.
You're gonna pop back on that?
Save the best for last.
So you went Walter. Oh, okay, I see. You're scramble boarding. I like it.
Anyways, so Anth already said 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year. I like the fact that he was Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year for 2017, and then a bunch of other bullshit stuff.
He also got the Walton Payton. He must have done something big in 2017.
Yeah, well, 2017 for Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year and the Walter Payton. I mean, we're not Arizona Cardinal fans, so we don't know. I mean, we could.
Well, he played for the Texans at the time.
Well, we weren't big fans of the Texans either, so
True.
don't know, don't care.
What are your guesses with how he compares here to?
I think that
Very close.
He started in 2011.
I still think he kind of came into his own a little bit later than his
I
first
agree.
couple
I
seasons.
think Micah edges him out.
I'm gonna say Micah. I'm gonna say Micah wins. I think Micah beats him 4-2. 4-2 of the 6 categories.
You got a lot of fucking people on this list, AJ.
It's the same amount as last time. Actually, it's one less. Sorry, I'm just getting rid of something that's going to bug me.
He's correcting something right now, but he spoiler alerted me, so I know how wrong we are.
JJ Watt Coast.
So here we go.
First 2 seasons.
So Micah beats him in tackles per game at 4.5 compared to 4.3.
Well, there's no green there.
And I know, Adam. I mean, come on. Sacks 26.5. Just beating out JJ Watt's 26, just edging him.
But then JJ just edges him on sacks a game.
That's right. Well, now on looking at what Watt takes Micah Parsons in his solo tackles per game, he had 3.7 compared to Micah's 3.2.
This is a very close comparison.
Very close. We got sacks per game. JJ Watt 0.81 compared to Michael's 0.8. Tackles for loss per game. This is where Micah gets spanked just a little bit. JJ Watt 1.6 compared to Micah's 1 per game, and then QB hits per game very very close, but 1.9 for JJ Watt compared to Micah's 1.7. So he gets
Watt
edged.
actually went 4-2. Yeah, Watt actually went 4-2 against
4-2. Yes,
Micah.
Yeah,
impressive.
And in my opinion, he gets the 3 that I weigh higher, which is the sacks per game, tackles for loss per game, and QB hits per game.
Yeah, I mean
But hey, we all have our own.
I mean, as soon as Ann said that Micah was going to beat him 4-2, I knew then that we was going to be the exact opposite.
50-50. If there's ever a 50-50 chance, I'm always wrong.
Before we go on the next one, so Cowboys Chris has a discrepancy because wait, no Harvey Martin, co-MVP of the Super Bowl, 23 sacks in 1 season. Come on, Can fan.
Who's Harvey Martin?
Exactly.
Is he?
He was a co-MVP of
Cowboys.
the Super Bowl.
Was he a defensive tackle or defensive end? But anyways, I did see that name, but only on one list. So I'm sorry, that's a lack of my personal knowledge that omitted him.
We
and I apologize. Maybe he didn't have a very good first 2 seasons, and so that's why I omitted him. That might have been a reason.
So, but I mean, by all
and
means,
the stats were shit back then if he was an old.
Yeah, and by all means, any discrepancies or anything you guys want, just make sure you DM us, and we'll add it to a future list as we can continue to compare Micah to other players. We're going to compare Micah to running backs as well. And a shout out to Bandwagon Baba. Not only is she at my son's football practice instead of me, she's also listening to us and watching us while she's watching my son.
Excellent.
Wow, that's impressive.
Okay, now Reggie White.
So Reggie White here, he ended up playing 8 years for Philly, and I just wanted to include that stat on the screen here for you audio listeners. You got to come check us out.
85 to 2000.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out how much damage he did to the Cowboys in those years, those 8 years. Not these are obviously his season stats, but still, you know, they played the Cowboys enough. So
yes.
Look at his fucking list of achievements. I mean, the dude was a beast.
Super Bowl champion, 2 times NFL Defensive Player of the Year for 87 and 98. So like,
oh yeah,
later on in his career, he fucking still
11-year gap between defensive player of the year. That's crazy.
His third year and his 14th year.
Crazy.
And Chris said he was a DE.
Okay.
So we'll take a look. We'll rectify that. You know what? Fuck. Hey, you know what? Fuck him. Fuck Harvey Martin.
No, whoa.
Sorry. Did I say that out loud, Chris? I'm not saying fuck Harvey Martin.
But the dude has just been on everything. I think one of the other impressive ones here is that 8-time first team All-Pro.
Yep.
Realistically though, fuck Harvey Martin.
Yeah, fuck Harvey Martin. Fuck yeah. But also, I don't see a PFWA all-team rookie on Reggie White. That's the only.
That's a
score on his
downgrade.
record. But look at this: Philadelphia Eagles Hall of Fame, Philadelphia Eagles 70th anniversary team, Eagles number 92 retired, Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame, Green Bay Packers 92 retired, Bart Starr Award, first team All USFL. He made the 75th anniversary team, the 100th anniversary team, the 80s, the 90s, and the 80s all-decade teams. And he's a 2-time sack leader, 13-time Pro Bowler.
I mean, the
Reggie
dude,
White.
he's got everything. Line it up.
He has everything but a fucking high-def photo.
Reggie White said, line it up, cut it up. I'm doing it all.
Line it up, cut it up, let's blow it up.
I would say top 10 player in NFL history. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny that we had talked earlier about players that would be on 2 like Ring of Honors, and we just found another one.
We just found another one.
Yeah.
Reggie White.
But look at this. The dude had a nuts first 2 seasons. 6.8 average tackles per game, 31 sacks, and that was 1.1 sacks per game.
And typically in the 80s, like it was like the 80s and early 90s, like the 80s and the 90s, you could say the 70s, like those were some rough years. So those, like, I could just imagine those 31 sacks that he nailed on those quarterbacks were probably not nice. That
was like probably intro steroid stage of, and look, be honest, like I just think all athletes probably took enhancements of multiple. Yeah, they all dabbled. Because if you didn't, the other guy, the opposite guy probably was. Yep. So, but yeah,
what I like about Reggie White and Micah Parsons is there's that one clip of Micah absolutely dummying the San Francisco left or right tackle where he just kind of flips him, like kind of arms him over.
Yeah.
And that was like Reggie White's move. Reggie White did that to more than just one tackle. So the guy was legit. And Minister of Defense I think it was his nickname. Definitely showed he was a unit from the time he got into the NFL to the time he left. 85 to 2000. What a beast.
Yeah, dude. Big shout out, and those stats are just incredible, to be honest. I mean, I don't think anyone else comes close to that 6.5, almost 7 tackles per game with over a sack per game.
That's crazy.
You're all over the fucking field.
Reggie White.
Michael Strahan, another fucking beast, man. And
I like that the picture that you picked, his face mask is blocking his gap in his teeth.
Yeah. Well, that was my choice. But yeah, just obviously the dude.
I actually thought you were going to use a photo of him on his Good Morning, his Kelly and Ripa.
I was thinking about that, but I was going to say, I think he's almost probably more well known now for his television personality than his football playing. You know,
for sure. He's definitely had a second career, very successful second career.
And it's so weird because Michael Strahan was probably one of the big players when I first started watching football, along with you guys, or Anthony might have been watching a couple years before me. But when I started watching, he was one of the kind of big names, and the guy that, like, you know, when you're selecting your team, okay, he would be a guy who might sway my decision. When you did the two randoms, then the one, well, okay, if I got the Giants, okay, at least I got Strahan. But he's been retired since 2009.
That's crazy.
It does not seem that long, but it has been.
Yep.
Bocce Eric says he played football? ?
He got the Defensive Player of the Year in 2001. So right in the smack dab kind of middle of his career.
And like, okay, so two NFL records, sacks in a season tied with TJ Watt, 22.5. Yep. Seasons leading league in sacks, he tied twice. Super Bowl champion, Defensive Player of the Year 2001, like you said, 4-time first team All-Pro, 2-time second team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time NFL sack leader, NFL forced fumbles co-leader, 2000s All-Decade team, retired number 92 for the Giants, and New York Giants ROH.
Stacked him up.
Let's see how he stacks against our boy Micah. Oh, fuck you,
Strahan.
Fuck you, Strahan. You got
booshed. You got swept. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Micah Parsons, 4.5 tackles a game versus Strahan's 3.3. 3.2 solo tackles a game for Micah, 2.5 for Strahan. 26.5 sacks in the first two seasons for Micah Parsons.
Oh, sorry.
And we're doing seasons 2, and this is Strahan's seasons 2 and 3. So fuck you, Strahan. Yeah. You only get 12 sacks in your fucking second and third season. Yeah, fuck.
What the fuck are we doing?
What the fuck are you doing here? You fucking supposed to be a fucking all-time NFL fucking defensive player of the fucking year. Fuck you, Strahan.
I mean, come on, this is New York City.
Hey, fuck you, you fuck.
But honestly,
still love the guy.
I still think, he is a great dude and fun football player to watch. But 0.4 sacks per game, I still think that's good, man. Like almost half. You're almost gonna get.
It's like you're just touching a leg
every 2 games.
Yeah, game-changing play.
But I'd rather take 0.8.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Hey, Micah.
Forget about it.
Michael, thank you. On to the next.
Oh, so this is Divine Gunn was asking if we did Julius Peppers, and I said not yet. And guess what, Divine Gunn? Julius Peppers is up on the plate for you.
J-Peps, baby.
J-Peps.
Looks like Julius Peppers might be in some sort of predator vision or some sort of.
Well, now you're just saying that because he has the visor, and then you got your psychedelic Jerry Jones behind him.
Yeah.
That's why you're thinking he's predator vision.
Respect.
Yeah.
So I think Julius Peppers, before we go into his awards here, I think he edges Micah in the first 2 years. That's my guess. I'm going out.
159.5 career sacks. And the boy played 2002 to 2018. A nice
solid run
career.
He has the coveted PFWA All Rookie team for 2002.
Yep.
He was 100 greatest Bears of all time. Yeah, the PFWA is the key. 2000s All Decade team, 2010s All Decade team, a bunch of fucking Pro Bowl stuff. All team, all pros. He was the defensive rookie of the year. Let's see what J Peeps got on Abo and Micah.
Well, Dallas Cowboys fans will always remember him as the guy that forced the fumble on DeMarco Murray in the 2014 playoffs that pretty much could have sealed the game for the Cowboys. The Dez Bryant catch would have never happened, or the Dez Bryant nod catch would have never happened if Julius Peppers just didn't reach his big dumb hand and swipe at that fucking ball. So there's a little Cowboys folklore there. Fuck you, Peppers, by the way.
Casey,
well, don't worry. The first 2 seasons of Peppers, which were not terrible. I mean, he had a decent amount of sacks. I mean, his tackles were quite low compared to Micah.
Yeah, 19 sacks versus Micah's 26.5 for the first 2. And this is a true comparison because it's the first 2 seasons.
This is the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Micah just basically swept in all comparable categories. The only one that we couldn't do was QB hits per game. That one's just a new stat.
I feel like that would have been. Micah would edge him on that if he's edging him on everything else.
Probably a good chance. Yep.
And but a respectable 0.7 sacks per game for Julius, as well as 0.75 tackles for a loss per game. So he's getting behind the line.
Looks like the line does like peppers.
So, so the all-time greats, the one thing that I always notice with these guys is longevity, right? You see 2002 to 2018, you see Michael Strahan's crazy years, Reggie White's crazy years. Like our biggest thing with Micah, drafted in 2021, we want him to still be playing in the 2035 is what we want from Micah. You know, like these guys have all had longevity careers and been successful. Julius Peppers putting up 159 total sacks. That's mind-boggling, man. And if Micah's in that, he's showing that he's in that company with when we do these 2-season comparisons, which should make all Cowboys fans super excited for the next 10 years of that guy.
Yeah, and I also think it's important for us to be comparing those kind of Alden Smiths who we did, where he had a great start, and like you and Sean Merriman's, where it shows like you can have a great start and then fucking peter right off. So it's just, you know,
it ain't how you started, baby. It's how you finished.
And Micah, we know you're listening out there, so you just make sure you take this in.
Finish hard.
So Dwight Freeney,
another player from our era that we kind of like. That name
best
was
spin
always,
move.
Yep.
Yeah.
Best spin move in the game.
And I picked him because he was on the list of the top, the most amount of sacks in your first 2 years. He was in that like top whatever 10 or 12 I was looking at. So
well, I see that PFWA All Rookie Team award on that list.
I mean, you already know.
That's the cover one.
Already know.
Dwight
so
Freeney,
you know he's legit.
PFWA Rookie of the Year. Crack him if you got him. 2000s All-Decade Team, NFL Forced Fumbles co-leader in 2022.
I think that was with someone else earlier.
Yeah, co-leader. Oh, yeah, okay. Ant's just fucking rolled off into the sunset. 7 times Pro Bowler, 2nd team All-Pro, 3 times 1st team All-Pro, and a Super Bowl champion. Yeah. And in the Indianapolis Colts Ring of Honor, Dwight Freeney. So we could bring him up.
Yeah, he had spent, I believe, his whole career in Indianapolis.
Yeah, a guy like that you don't fucking get rid of. So okay, let's see what he has. We'll start talking about before Anth gets in here.
Sure, he had 125.5 total sacks, so a little bit less. But let's see, and
148 QB hits too. So, okay, first 2 seasons. Okay, so Dwight Freeney still couldn't edge Micah out. We have that. I mean, I feel like if there's a question mark there, we automatically have to give. I want to see a full list of. We haven't seen a full. We haven't seen a fucking full green side yet for anybody.
No, but we might coming up. The problem is they didn't start doing TFL and quarterback hits until like
quarterback
later. So
So when we get to someone like Aaron Donald, we're going to see something like that?
Yes, yeah. Newer guys will have full comparisons, but they didn't do TFLs. Yep. Well, they did TFL starting whenever it was. Must have been by 2002. But cute quarterback hits came a few. But here's the thing that we already said. The NFL can go back and look at all their film and start tallying this shit.
I bet you they will. They're gonna. I bet you they will at some point.
Get AI to do it. I don't know.
So Dwight, this is another true comparison. First 2 seasons.
Micah swept it, baby.
Micah swept it, 4.5 to so Freeney.
Get out the broom.
Close, very close sacks per game and tackles for loss.
24 to 26.5. Yep.
Because sacks per game is 0.77 for Freeney compared to Micah's 0.8, and tackles for loss 0.97 compared to Micah's 1. Yeah, and I did round Micah's correctly. So those extra decimals, I'm not pushing. I'm not rounding up Micah and then
there must be a formula. Like if you look at the QB hits a game, and like if Micah has 26.5 sacks versus a 24, and the TFLs are we're edging him out on everything else, then his QB hits per game are probably like 1.2, maybe. Like I'm talking about Dwight.
Yeah,
Freeney.
But it's hard to tell because it can vary so much by. For example, like there's some guys who have, say, 100 tackles and then 90 solo tackles versus some guys
right. I'm just thinking like when you're
thinking, it can vary.
But when you look at sacks tackles for loss. I mean, I
those are different stats.
Totally. But I'm just saying, like when you look at the numbers there, you can probably. I mean, I'm just in my mentally, I'm putting a green check by.
You can, but I won't.
Hits.
But I won't. I will not agree with.
I don't let stats ruin a great story. Micah Parsons is edging him out just like he edged out Julius Peppers.
Edged him.
Hey,
it's edged.
You just got defensively edged, Dwight Freeney.
Well, Divine Gun says they could just pay the Can fan to do it. So he's saying, let's pay us. We'll go back. We'll fucking QB hit every person.
Are you fucking kidding
me? Unfortunately, I feel like in hour 3, AJ'd be too vaped out. I'd be too drunk, and Ad would have to go to some sort of kid practice. So I just don't think I don't think we'd be very successful at it. Javon Curse. Sorry, Javon Curse is who I got messed up with Peppers. Javon Curse's first 2 years
was deadly.
Was deadly. He should probably edge out Micah on his first 2 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah, and he actually only.
Hey, you can't take it back though. Don't just.
I
try.
can't.
Oh yeah,
No.
that's right, Javon Curse.
He had
No take backsies.
No take backsies, baby.
He definitely had the lights out effect where he started very strong and only finished with 74 sacks. And I mean,
got the coveted PFWA though.
10-year career, 74. So some of these guys, he was like still averaging 7.4 sacks a season. I'd be happy with
very
that.
Respectable.
PFWA all rookie team, 3 times Pro Bowler, first team All Pro, and NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. So a lot of very familiar stats that we're probably going to see from our boy Micah.
No touchdowns.
I'm going 3-3, or I think the bottom one will be a question mark. So I'm going to go.
I think Micah
3-2.
5-1.
3-2 Micah.
5-1.
No, Javon.
3-2 Javon.
Mine's Micah.
Ooh.
Wow, Micah.
Yes, I was right, baby.
Micah.
And see, I classify my QB hits as a win if the question mark. So I was correct on my 5-1.
And this is a true first 2 season comparison. Micah Parsons edging Javon Curse in tackles for a game.
Are we sure? Are they sure those are Curse's numbers or are those Freeney's numbers?
You mean you son of Adam, you son of a bitch.
I mean, listen, like
got him.
The prep you've done on this is great. I don't give a shit if there's warts here. You know,
and
whatever.
Here's the thing, I always think I got all the mistakes.
No,
but we catch them live, baby,
catch
and that's
them
how
live because we don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck.
Okay, you roll through these stat comparisons.
Okay, so Micah Parsons, 4.5 tackles to 3.5, 3.2 to 2.7, 2.65 to sacks versus 2.6. That's so close that it's
very close.
Ants, you were very close on Kearse. If anybody was to get it, a lot of his stuff, just like Julius Peppers, was very close to Micah Parsons.
Yeah, he had very respectable numbers. 0.81 sacks per game where he edges Micah, and then tackles for loss, Micah had 1. He had 0.81. So
yeah, just licking it, just chomping at the bit to fucking sack somebody.
I don't like the description that he's licking it, but I might get used to it.
Is it just because we were thinking about Charles Haley earlier about dick tugging?
He's licking it.
He's licking it and sticking it.
Would you just lick at it?
Would you just lick it?
But yeah. Now we're moving on to the top current. Now this is where things get fun, guys. This is where this is third act. We know we've got the character development that we need. Okay, we've hit that issue. The problem has happened. The catalyst for the rest of the episode here, and now we're in our top current defensive ends. Final act.
We've gone back in time to just come back now to fight true crime in time.
First up, Nicholas Bosa, boss number 1.
Okay, boss number 1. NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 2022. Fuck you. NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2019. Fuck you. First team All-Pro, 3 times Pro Bowler, Deacon Jones Award 2022. And PFWA.
God damn it! He got the PFWA.
Yeah, the PFWA. I'm a little worried, and he's wearing that fucking new Ridgeline helmet or whatever the hell they call it.
Where it looks like it's eyeballs on it. He looks like he's an alien.
He's wearing his Power Rangers helmet. He's wearing.
Yeah, is he morphing up? Is it because he's morphing up that he's getting all these great stats?
Give me a
2019. He was drafted to the San Francisco 49ers.
Fuck you, 49ers. I wish
second overall, I think.
It would have been nice to have a shirtless photo here for him.
Oh, they're coming.
I know. I know who you have a shirtless photo of. I wanted a shirt. I think all of these guys should have had shirtless photos.
Nah, well, some of them don't pop up, and I'm not going to go searching. But if they pop up, I will.
Correct.
I will take it.
Okay, so what do you think?
I don't want my search history being flooded with shirtless football players. Then what's my fucking Instagram and my feed's going to be?
I fucking.
Hey, I might be fine with it.
Possibly. I don't think he edges Micah out. I think Micah is going to go. I think Micah's going to. It's going to be. Actually, it might be 3-3.
3-3.
I'm saying 3-3. What are you saying, Anth?
Nick Bosa wins because every time I say the other person, Micah wins. So I'm trying to use reverse psychology.
Okay.
Nick Bosa wins out. Let's see it.
Ooh.
Yes, it worked.
And
I wield a power that should not be wielded.
When did they start doing QB hits a game? Nick
I don't know. I
Bosa
might
was drafted in 2019.
It might have been right then, or I might have fucked up. Let's just.
Okay, so Micah 4.5 to Nick Bosa for 3 for tackles.
Well, let's just go. Let's just say Micah edges him in the tackles a game, solo tackles a game, sacks a game, and then Bosa beats him with more tackle for losses a game.
Okay, so and
I don't
then,
think saying the actual numbers matter, just
you're
the
right.
category.
But and then I guess the big number. So Micah has 26.5 sacks to Bosa's 24.5 sacks.
So they're neck and neck though. Like they are neck and neck.
AJ's looking for that QB hits a game. Look at him. I can see it.
You draft Nick Bosa to get to the quarterback, and his first 2 seasons he did that. He was a PFWA all rookie team award winner, so he's legit. And I do like the fact that they're always going to be compared. You got the 3 right now. You got Micah Parsons, TJ Watt, and Nick Bosa. Those are the top 3 guys at edge rushing in my mind right now. And they'll always be kind of jockeying for a little bit of position.
And R2 saying Cowboys can fan, his nickname was the Freak. Go
Javon.
Cowboys.
Hey guys,
that's for Javon Curse.
You're not gonna believe it.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna believe it.
1.8. Oh, so 4-2 for Micah. Okay, I mean I was close.
1.8 QB hits per game. Oop.
So that shows at when we have the question mark, you can't always think just because the other guy has 4 of the 6 that he's automatically going to have the question mark.
I'm just saying. So, but
very close, very very close. All of them are very close to each other.
You know what? Yeah, hey, guess what?
The biggest difference is the tackles.
You guys convinced me. I'm not going to argue about it. You guys convinced me.
But it is also including Bosa's 3rd season, although he was injured.
Injured in year 2.
Yeah, take that for what you will.
Oh, 1 and 3.
Moving on.
Oh,
God. Oh my God! Give us a wide image of that, because I purposely got that 6-pack fucking abs.
The only problem is I don't have.
So anyone listening right now, we have a picture of Aaron Donald absolutely flexing on us right now. And Bandwagon Boy 1 is just trying to figure out how to outzoom. There it is.
There we go.
Aaron Donald looking like a freak of nature.
Just huge.
So I didn't see that Nick Bosa's was year 1 and 3, so I definitely don't have as much respect for his stats as I do the other guys.
He was injured in year 2.
No, I get the 2 full seasons. I appreciate that, but it's still there's an asterisk. So fuck it.
There is an asterisk.
So
You're absolutely right.
So fuck him. So Aaron Donald, Super Bowl champion, 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, 2017, 2018, and 2020. Wow. What happened in 2019, Aaron? Aaron. NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2014. So you know what?
That's not right, but
that wasn't right.
Well, he's
2018. Yeah, so 2018, he's NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. 7-time first team All-Pro. I'm like fucking what's his name?
I copy pasted that. Okay.
Yeah, so he has the Deacon Jones Award, which is it's a coveted one. 2010's All-Decade Team. So he only played really a couple of years in the 2010s, and he made the All-Decade Team, which is pretty huge. PFWA All-Rookie Team. There's a chance, and he made the All-Rookie Team in 2018.
There we go. He's 2014.
Is it bad that I think Micah is going to edge him out?
So it was 2014. Actually, you know what? So here's my thought. If you look at his, this is how I'm gamifying Alex's thing here. I think Micah's going to edge him out 4-2. The reason I think that is he's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year in 2017, 2018, and 2020. He was a rookie in 2014, so he had a good rookie of the year. But what happened his next few years? I think
He was on the that's when he started his 7-time first team All-Pro streak.
Yeah,
2015 to 2021.
Still wasn't defensive player of the year. So I think Micah's going to do 4-2 for Micah.
Let's see.
Eth?
I just said Micah. Let's just go.
Okay.
Let's see it. Let's check it out.
Oh, that's my Johnny drama.
Micah takes it
Smashed
all.
and bashed. Smashed and bashed.
bashed.
So
Except
Micah beats out Aaron Donald in tackles a game, solo tackles a game, sacks with 26.5 to Aaron Donald's 20. Sacks per game, which Micah has 0.8 to Aaron Donald's 0.63. TFL's Aaron's only category that he actually takes Micah out. And then QB hits a game, Micah edges him out. So 5-1 for Micah Parsons.
Ooh,
Against Double A-Ron. Here's a fun one.
Okay, Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack, he's got the coveted PFWA All-Rookie team.
Now, fun fact.
Damn it.
With So he has the coveted. We also, if you know any history about Khalil Mack, then and we didn't watch Draft Day as our movie before the draft, but one of the players in Draft Day is kind of molded off of what happened with Khalil Mack when he was going to get drafted.
Oh, really?
Fun fact.
Which player?
Well, Chadwick Boseman plays the player in NFL in the Draft Day movie, but they're saying he's based off of Khalil Mack.
Well, he also is
Chadwick Boseman Fat.
Yep.
He's a Defensive Player of the Year award in 2016.
Yep. 4-time team, first team All-Pro, second team All-Pro, 7 times Pro Bowler, NFL 2010s All-Decade team. Anth already said it. PFWA All-Rookie team, the coveted 2-time Butt Kiss Award, and
fucking butt kisser,
and 100 greatest Bears of all time.
He's on the 100 greatest Bears of all time, and the not the Raiders. Interesting.
Crazy.
Where he was drafted. Okay, well, let's see. What do we think? We already
Micah.
Adam's on the Micah train, and
Micah,
I love it.
Khalil.
Oh! Now
I got one. I'm on a roll right now, son.
Yeah, Khalil came in and he was hot. He beats out Micah. Now these are his. I did his first 2 seasons as a defensive end. His first rookie season, he was playing linebacker, and then he switched to defensive end for the next 2 seasons. So,
and this might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was the first or one of the first players to ever be an All-Pro at 2 different positions.
Oh, really?
In the same season.
Oh, interesting. So maybe
at
he
linebacker
switched?
And defensive end.
Okay,
So don't quote me on that. I'm just
hey,
guess what?
Spitting facts.
Folklore. That's folklore, baby.
You were already quoted. So
off the record.
I mean, and it's seasons 2 and 3, so there's a little bit of an asterisk there, which whatevs.
There is a little bit of an asterisk. You're correct.
They're very close numbers.
I think when you go down these numbers, they are all within 0.3 of each other or less. And
it's almost a wash.
It's pretty much a wash. And that's great. If you're looking at Khalil Mack's second and third season, comparing it to Micah Parsons' first and second, and they're the same, the trajectory is great for Micah.
Yeah.
You know, where's he going for season 3 and 4?
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
Time will tell, baby.
Joey, I'm strung out both.
Joey.
But
Joey Bradley Cooper would play me in a movie.
Yeah.
Bosa.
Yeah. He's got the coveted PFWA.
He's got look, he has only 3 lines here. But the one line that really matters is that PFWA All-Rookie team in 2016. NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2016, and then 4 times Pro Bowler from 2017 because he didn't.
Micah kills him.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Bring up the slide.
Boom!
Oh, boosh tie.
Boom, shakalaka.
Is that our first tie?
What's a rub in tackles for loss in game? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But Micah kills
else.
him Micah kills him in tackles a game, solo tackles a game, sacks 26.5 to Joey Bosa's 23. And this is in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, go put your hair up in a bun, Joey.
Joey Bosa edges Micah a little bit like he likes it.
Yeah.
With 0.82 to 0.8 for sacks a game. They have a wash for tackles for loss a game at 1. And then Micah barely edges him out with QB hits a game. But we'll take it. Micah's still the
You're
guy's
in good
just
company.
a different. Yeah, he's in good company. And what this is showing us is I think we have a lot to look forward to with Micah Parsons.
Yeah, Exactly. As long as he is the player we think he is. And I know he is. So I don't know why I'm asking.
My oh, Micah. Chandler Jones is pointing out saying, I'm coming for you, motherfucker. Micah Parsons, I'm gonna beat your record.
Super Bowl champion? Okay. But what about that PFWA?
It's there. 2012.
It's there. Damn it.
Forced fumbles co-leader, all decades team for the 2010s, Deacon Jones Award winner, 2017, bunch of Pro Bowlers, bunch of all. So what do you think?
He's got his Pro Bowl spread out nicely throughout his entire career.
Okay, so QB hits his 210. That worries me for Micah's. So I'm trying to dissect this a little bit here. He has 2 TDs, so Micah's already halfway there. And he's been playing since 2012. I mean, Micah, was Micah born in 2012? Not sure. I'm going to say Micah Parsons is
edging.
Yeah, 6-0. 6 for
4-2.
Micah.
4-2 Micah.
Full green for Micah. Give me that full green, baby.
Whoa, there it is.
Oh, Micah.
and not only that, Micah pretty much dominates him in every category
Smacks
except for
it
tackles
out of
per
the
game.
park.
Yeah.
You know what? You need to do this next time. If we're doing a presentation show like this, if Micah Parsons beats someone like a full thing, I need to see a Micah head come in and like bite off the other guy's head.
We need an animation then.
We could do it. We'll be able to do it. I'll show you.
Okay.
Sort of.
Yeah. Well, it
Well,
can be fun.
we don't even need to dive into this. It looks like Micah Parsons absolutely swept the floor with Chandler Jones in every category.
And this is true first 2 season comparison as well.
Respect the PFWA, but get the fuck out, Chandler.
Mano a mano.
Myles Garrett. The other one
This is the final one.
The other one I knew. I mean Myles Garrett's 6-packs. I appreciate Myles Garrett's form and body more than I do Aaron Donald's.
And of course,
and he has a coveted PFWA All Rookie team for 2017.
Yeah,
naturally,
2
unlike
times
his body.
First team All Pro, 2 times second team All Pro, and 4 times Pro Bowler. Our boy, Myles
Looks
Garrett.
like he's made out of stone.
Yeah.
Actually,
And did you see?
oh my God! Did someone paint Michelangelo, David, or whatever?
Well, definitely doesn't have a small wiener like this.
No, but you can't see.
Can't see it, but you saw him fucking dunk as a basketball player.
Yeah.
He fucking can ball in on that side of the court too.
I love Myles Garrett. He's a good
beast.
He's a good football player.
Beast among men.
Already
and
at
a great
70
football player. Shitty that he's on the Browns.
Okay. I think it's going to be. There's not a defensive player of the year, so I think it's going to be 4-2 for Micah.
We haven't had a tie yet, so just because it's the last one, I'm going with the wash 3-3.
3-3. Ooh.
Boom!
Micah.
And you would even possibly say that Micah Parsons, the bottom one, 174. Like, get the fuck out of here.
You know, if you're rounding,
174.
Well,
it's rounded down. It's 1-7. It's a tie. That last one's a tie.
But it's not a 6.
That's a
all
tie.
6.
So Micah edges
Tie
out
goes to the
Myles
runner.
Garrett 5-1 at tackles per game, solo tackles a game, sacks, which is 26.5 to 20.5 sacks a game, tackles for loss, and Myles Garrett gets the one lonely stat line of QB hits a game. It's like, oh, good, you hit my quarterback.
You got his laces.
A little bit more.
You got his laces.
But he threw a touchdown.
Did he throw it? Oh yeah, that's right.
So what is just take my screen off just so I can switch back. But what I want to know is what is your thoughts after this and also looking at the linebackers? What do you guys think about Micah Parsons just in general and how he compares?
Well, I think everyone in Cowboys Nation feels the exact same. Any video we post about Micah Parsons does very well. The excitement's there. Everyone's searching him constantly. He's basically at the start of his career, and there's so much hope. And when you compare him to these other GOATs and future Hall of Famers, and then guys that are in the league that are equally as good, all that I can see is him still on an upward kind of spiral. He's spiraling up instead of down. So I'm excited. I'm excited for his 3rd year, his junior season in the NFL. And I think we've only seen the start of Micah Parsons' success.
Yeah, I agree with Anth. I think like when we watch him, we're expecting so much from him because there's so much talent there. But then it's actually nice to compare him to some of these players who have a couple more years on him or who are completely retired. And you're like, well, that guy was a fucking monster for his entire career portfolio. And Micah is already like staying either toe to toe with them in the first 2 seasons or superseding them in those first 2 seasons. So yeah, I mean, the expectations for Micah are huge. Yeah, we just want that longevity out of him. I think Anth kind of nailed it. You could see some of these guys that play DE, they have the longevity and they have those kind of like really fully rounded careers. Possibly why Micah might want to move away from being just a linebacker and getting into like a full-time DE. Yeah, I'm excited for the seasons 3 and 4, specifically because we saw some of our comparisons like fucking Michael Strahan, seasons 3 and season 4, and comparing him to Micah seasons 1 and season 2. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the comparisons to both positions is interesting, and my conclusion is I don't want to see Micah change what he's doing. I think the percentage that he's doing things at, when we look at the linebackers and defensive ends and how he kind of, for the most part, you can go through and I didn't do this, but he dominated in most players who are exceptional at that position. And the fact that he's done it in 2 different categories or 2 different positions, is really great. Now, he's got obviously any true linebacker is going to have more tackles than him, and there's nothing that you can do about that. But when you compare him to people who have the same type of complementary skills or are playing the same type of position of linebacker where they're rushing a little bit more, always Micah Parsons comes out on top.
Yep.
9 times out of 10, and this comparison really now puts the weight on his shoulders to come out and continue to perform like that.
Yeah.
Well, looking just looking at all these other players, it really, when I hear expectations and how good he is and people talking about how good he is, or people that aren't saying he's as good as some of the other greats, we've proven that wrong. We've just by looking, we've
gone through and compared.
We've literally proven it wrong. He's in the top echelon of first 2 seasons of any NFL player that's ever played.
Because
he's in the top 5% of any NFL player that's ever in 2 seasons. So.
And when you look, and even when you go down to, and we look at, because we've already looked at it, but when you look at him versus someone like LT, and people are like, right, you can't compare him to LT. Well, yeah, we fucking can, because we're going apples to apples.
Yeah.
Like, and even some of these guys were apples to like fucking green apples. He's still, and the green apples are the seasons 3 and 4, by the way. But like the thing that like you look at, and obviously nobody can see this, is like, is he going to stay healthy? What's his longevity look like?
Does he have personality problems?
Does he have personality problems? So like, a player like Micah Parsons, it seems like he's mentally strong with where he's at. Some type of injury could really fuck with that. So you're like hoping that he has that good support system around, which he seems like he does, where you can kind of continue with that mental strength. You get injured, you gotta be able to bounce back from that. Obviously, I don't want to say the I word with our guy like Micah Parsons.
Dare.
But yeah,
that's
like
the only thing that derails his season is injuries, man.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Okay.
All right, man. Hey guys, great episode. We did it. We talked some Cowboys articles. I love comparing Micah. I love doing this comparison thing. I can't wait to do it more with possibly other Cowboys players to future greats. Maybe we compare Tony Pollard. Maybe we compare Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb. There's a bunch of guys that we could compare in the future.
I mean, Dak Prescott, yeah.
Dak Prescott would be a great one.
Mm-hmm.
We will be back Sunday for the Sunday service. We don't know time because we kind of just roll it out when we roll it out. But for the Bandwagon Boys in studio, and me, I went all the way out of studio in Dallas. Like, I'm chilling.
Yeah, he's in Dallas.
You're chilling in Dallas.
Great background.
Thanks everybody showing up.
Thanks for showing up, guys. We will be back Sunday.
Peace.